What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Moda J. This is episode 4, the recap of Them. Oh man, this show just keeps getting better and better each episode. Disclaimer, bear with me, people. I'm taking 7 hours, 8 hours out of my Saturday to record the first 5 episodes. I'm at 5 hours now because this is episode 4. I'm going to do episode 5 right after it, edit them, and throw them out there for you. But I know y'all don't care about the work that I'm doing. Y'all just want the video, so I'm going to get to the videos for y'all. But first, we got to do the YouTube stuff. Shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and want to be a part of this, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. Episode 4. Now, we know it's always something crazy that's going to go on and happen. And it's just non-stop. Non-stop. The first 4 days were crazy. I would have been about the house. But I'm not going to hold y'all up. Let's jump into episode 4, the recap. Here we go, people. Present day, day 6. Henry is a hard-working man. If you remember, at the end of episode 3, they burned nigger heaven into this man's yard. Now, he's up. He's got to get to work. You already know Boss Man Pecker. He ain't playing around. So he brushing his teeth, getting ready and stuff. And in the background, you can hear the music playing. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, my oh my. Man, it's a good song, you know what I'm saying? But he's brushing his teeth, getting his girls ready because, hey, forget everything that happened before today. Let's wake up, start fresh. But nothing's ever going their way in this show, and y'all know that. When Henry comes outside, he's getting fresh. Brushed his teeth, he comes outside, and what does he see? Not only did they burn nigger heaven into this man's front yard, they put up black dolls with nooses hanging from the roof. They're black dolls all out in the middle of the yard. It's just ridiculous how they got this man's house looking. They even put one of the Jack in the boxes. Pop goes the weasel. So it's a Jack in the box, but the joke is nigger in a box. But they put this on this man's yard, and it's just like, man, this is the I gotta deal with every single day. Could you imagine getting up? We already get up and don't want to go to work. We hear that alarm waking up when we're not trying to hear that. And you know you gotta go in there. I gotta hear my damn boss. But you come outside and you see this. It's just like, man, today it just ain't my day. And of course, all the white people outside, they looking at it. You got little kids over here looking at it because they know what happened last night. And to them, this is an accomplishment. Oh yeah, we did that. But for Henry, it's just another note to put in my book for when I start whooping ass. Look at this man's yard. This is just disrespectful. We just heard a couple of months ago an old man killed a dude and his wife for putting snow in his yard. Look at this. Look at this. Not saying killing somebody is justified, but this is just ridiculous. Someone's got to clean this up. Henry, being the dad that he is, he goes in, he gets his girls ready. He's like, all right, listen, we don't pay no attention to no fools. So if you see ignorant stuff, silly stuff, we don't even look at it. We put the blinders on, we look straight. We got that tunnel vision. We going to where we need to get. What he's telling his daughters is, he's not putting it out there like we're going to go see some stuff outside, but he's saying we're going to see some stuff outside. Y'all just get in the car. Don't say nothing. Don't look around. Look at the car, get in the car, and let's get out of this. Now, Lucky, she looks out the window and she can see it. And you know her, hey, you already know her patience just about to be depleted. Now, all my black folk watching this part right here, we all understand exactly what Henry is saying. Now, he tells Lucky we got 3 options. 1, I can go get that 4-5. I go back and get rid of everybody out here, but I'll go to jail. They take the kids from us. Option 2, I can skip work, but it's the first week. Now, if I miss work in the first week, we know we getting fired, and we all know we need that check. Or option 3, is just go in the house, lock the door, stay cool. Don't give these white folk the satisfaction of making us look foolish and getting us kicked up out our house. We're not going to let some dolls get to us. Now, that's deep because I know exactly how they feeling. I'm sure 99% of y'all know exactly how Henry is feeling. But also, as being the father and making sure he has to take care of his wife and his 2 kids, he knows anything else bad that happens from her, they gonna be on him. Now, you might be able to take 1 or 2 of them, but a whole street, a whole neighborhood, that's gonna be tough. So you kind of gotta just suck it up and deal with it. It sucks, but you gotta do it. Here we go, y'all. The stare down, the battle, the moment everybody's been waiting on. Oh yeah, good versus evil. Lucky versus Betty. Now they're both smoking a cigarette and they're looking at each other. It's 3011 versus 3012. Let's get it, Betty. Ding ding, round one. Lucky comes over there and she's ready. She tells her straight up, what? Burning cross is too flamboyant. Y'all might as well put a noose up there. Y'all might as well came over with hoods. Y'all might as well be the Klan. And Betty's talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, why would you live in an area that you don't want to, that you're not accepted? And she's like, because, sunny weather feels good out here. I'm kind of getting used to it. And Betty's like, you're all alone on this block. This is our neighborhood and we have standards. And then Lucky tells her, look, you by yourself right now. I'll get on your ass before any of these women come over here. And then one of the ladies says, is everything all right, Betty? Lucky said, oh, yeah, it's all right, sweetie. We got this. Now, Betty don't know what's going on. She thinks it's a threat. Lucky says, oh, it ain't no threat. I don't know what you're talking about. So right now, Lucky is up 2-0 on her. You know what I'm saying? Betty can't even say anything. But she tries to bring up, I wouldn't want to raise my kids anywhere around here because this is as good as it's going to get. And it's never going to get this good again. Lucky looks her in the face and says, well, it's a good thing you don't have kids because everybody got kids. And we know earlier that Betty was kind of down and out because Midge was talking about kids and Betty don't have any kids. So 3-0 Lucky. We got this. Mr. Burks and one of his assistants get on the elevator and Henry's already on there. But just like I would do, he just sits in the back and these two just talk, acting like they don't even know he's here. They're not even going to acknowledge him because they're above him. So they just a black guy. I mean, we don't need to talk to him. And Henry just sitting there. The guy on the right, he drops his pen. Henry picks it up and gives it to him. And he just goes back to not saying anything. The assistant gets off and it's Mr. Burks and Henry on here. And he's talking to Henry like, yeah, there's an after work party. It's a bunch of big wigs. You wouldn't have any fun there. Pretty much trying to belittle Henry and say, you're just a black guy. You wouldn't understand anything with the top execs. But yeah, I wouldn't even go. And then he just tells Henry, oh, enjoy your half day. Because those parties, those corporate parties, you get off work a little early, get some drink and some free food. I will not pass up, but I'll only be there for about 10, 15 minutes and then I'm headed to the house. What did I tell you at the beginning of the episode? Lucky's patience just dropping and dropping and dropping. So she goes to find out about the house. Comes to find out once she gets there and she's talking to the lady, they didn't sign a lease to the house. There's no contract. There's no deed or anything to it. Pretty much this house is just, okay, they bought a house. The house is amortized. And what amortized mean, they go over it a little bit. It's pretty much just paying off an asset or paying off a debt. So is whoever owned the house before them, they had a debt. Henry and them, they just paid off the debt. So the house means nothing to them. They don't get anything from it. There's nothing they get from it. They don't even own the house. They just paid off the debt that the loaning office or the realtor owned. But she starts to tell Lucky that there's another black family that did the same thing over on the other side of Compton, maybe 2 or 3 blocks from you. So this gives Lucky an idea. I need to go talk to them and see what the hell they got going on. Because what we in is we screwed up. Something suspicious because the realtor, guess who she's calling? Sergeant Wheatley. The sergeant that came and saved Henry and them when they kicked in the door. Yeah. So her and Sergeant Wheatley, they got something going on. Milkman George came back over. I know Clark's probably checking the refrigerator like, we got a lot of milk. Who's paying for this? But George is leaving that milk for free because he's all in love to Betty. And Betty, she's just baiting him on and using him what a lot of women do. But what she's telling George is, I wish I could just have one day where I didn't have to make any decisions and people could do something and I could just relax. That's every single day. Clark's ass is going to work. You sit at the house, you clean up, you don't do nothing. You don't make any decisions. You're just making a big deal about the people across the street because Lucky keep punking you. Lucky keep making you look bad. So now she got George wrapped all around her fingers, man. And George is like, man, I'll do anything. When I tell you she got this boy George wrapped around her fingers, he whipped and he ain't even got to sniff it yet. But he's like, when I heard you at that meeting the other night, I just couldn't sleep without thinking about what you said. If you ever need anything, let me know. And she wore her good pearls too, because she wanted him to know, like, I'm here for you, George. Fellas, don't get caught up like this. Do not get caught up like this. That's a married woman. Get out of there, George. Get out of there. Good old Ruby, she's at lunch eating. At least ain't nobody messing with her while she's eating. So she sits down. Of course, she's going to be by herself. She doesn't have any friends. But out of nowhere, her favorite girl with the pink comes over. And she's like, hey, let me show you something. They run off holding hands happily, just, ah, and people looking at them like, man, what the hell this nigga got going on here? These two, they run down into a little storage room, and who do we see? One of the star athletes with one of the cheerleaders, and Ruby's over here. And they just run off because they almost get caught. You know, you got to get low, especially see a black girl. They gon' hey, ain't no telling what they gonna do, but Ruby got some speed. Y'all seen her mama, so you know that's that's in the genes. Lucky makes it over to the other neighbors in Compton, the other Negroes. Now they get to the house and they sitting down, they start reminiscing about being back at home and missing trees and stuff. Now the lady's like, I know you didn't come all the way over here. I seen your face through my door. And I know you didn't come over here to talk to me about trees. So go ahead and ask me. So Lucky asks, how is it for her? How long they been there? And the lady says, man, time starts to run together, a couple weeks, couple months, but they tried everything in the book, everything in the dirty book. They even put nails. So you remember the thumbtacks in the driveway? This might be the family. They put nails in the driveway. They outside the windows howling. They even put a letter in the mailbox that said you need to watch your little niggas. Man, this lady said she ain't been going to sleep because it's just, I'm too scared to. This lady even goes on to mention that the man in the black hat said all this would happen and all these people would come. The man in the black hat was on the bus. Remember, he was standing over with the black hat. And then this lady says, hey, come here, y'all. Turn this up a little bit. I gotta tell you a secret. These two then ran from wherever they were watching the cheerleader and the basketball player. They then ran into a little storage closet. Looked like a janitor closet. Now, this girl keeps telling her, you're pretty for a colored girl. Now, nobody wants to hear that. If you're pretty, you're pretty. It doesn't matter what you are. Now, she starts to give her makeup and she's starting to put some eyeliner on her or whatever you would call it, whatever you put on top of your eyelash, eyelid, I don't know. But she tells you can always be better. You can always look better. Pretty much whitewashing her, saying, hey, you can look like us. If you want to be beautiful, you can look just like us. You can fit in. Now, the only other black man in the building is the janitor. If you seen earlier when she first went to school, she walks past him, he's mopping it up. They don't really say anything, but he goes into the janitor closet and he grabs her arm like, what are you doing in here? Because he knows, hey, you need to be in your classrooms doing what you're doing. Your dad put you in this school because he wants a better future for you. I know it's going to be tough. I apologize for grabbing you, but I'm sure your parents will want you in your class and not hanging around doing whatever you're doing. Pretty much what he's doing is what we all should be doing, is looking out for other black people, especially the youth. Now, he may be a janitor, but he's still a man, still a black man, doing what he can to take care of him and his family. So, of course, he's looking out for the little girl, the only black girl in the school. As he's closing the door, the friend in all pink, this is what she looks like. This whole time, it's paranormal activity. She's hanging out with one of the ghosts, one of the people that are sent from the guy with the black hat, along with Miss Vera. Oh my goodness. So she's skipping around the halls, talking to nobody. People are probably looking at her like, man, what the hell? Oh Lord, it just keeps getting interesting. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Pay attention. She says the guy with the hat tells her, don't worry about them good white folk on the outside. You need to be worrying about yourself. Cleaning your house, making sure your family is doing good. Pay attention to this because this is going to come back later on in the season. But she's like, all I have to do is just clean up my house. Don't worry about the white people. Don't let those white people bother me, because that's not the problem. The problem is inside of my house. I need to figure out what's going on inside of my house. He told her, make sure everything is clean in this house. So every hour on the hour, she takes a shower and she scrubs and scrubs and scrubs. You can look at her arms. She's scrubbing the skin off herself because she needs to be cleansed and clean. That black skin ain't clean, y'all. That black skin ain't clean. That's what they trying to tell you. But geez Louise. Miss Johnson starts talking about her boys, and Lucky's like, oh my goodness, where are your boys? They look like the same age as my kids. Are they in school? And then Miss Johnson looks and says, Roland, where are the boys? Roland is a disabled vet, no legs, look like he back there sweating, his face is all messed up. So you know Lucky's in there like, what in the hell is going on here? But she's trying to figure it out because things are going on at her house too. In the background you hear ding and Miss Johnson's like, there they are. They go in the kitchen, it's blood everywhere. So it looks like Miss Johnson had killed her kids and Lucky's in the kitchen like, what? Oh my goodness, I need to get the hell up out of here. She's sprinting out the house. We know her. We know Mama Lucky fast as hell. So she running. You got Rolling in the wheelchair like, ah. Man, I probably would have punched Rolling in the head and got the hell up out of there. We got a half day. We got the party going on. Calvin's in here. Calvin is a waiter, a server. He works in the kitchen. He's a mail boy. Calvin does everything. He might be even a part-time janitor. But he said, I never thought I'd see the day. Talking about seeing Henry in here, a black man in a suit in the actual function that's not a worker, that's not, a servant to somebody. Henry's like, man, you got some of that goodness, you know what I'm saying, in the back? Calvin's like, yeah, maybe in my stash, because all they got here is a little champagne. Ain't gonna get you too lit. Now, the top dog, CEO, the dude at the very top that runs this whole engineering program, Mr. Burke's boss. He gets up here, he gives a BS, a little speech talking about nothing. No one ever pays attention to that. But he gets to the good news. And the good news is they got a Pentagon contract. So when the government's throwing a contract at you back then, it's probably about $100 million. Woo-wee, you in the money. So, hey, that means a raise for everybody. You know what I'm saying? We all getting a raise. Hell, I'm Henry's assistant. I might even get me a raise. After the boss leaves, Henry looks back on the stage. Clear my eyes, cause I don't know what I'm seeing. And he sees a blackface man. And I looked up the names of these people. He's called the Tap Dance Man. So he gets up there and this is indicating, you remember Henry seen this on the TV when he was buying one. He's indicating you in here dancing, stucking and jiving, doing everything the white man's doing. You doing everything he wants you to do. You're not being you. That's all that's indicating, people. And Henry's in here like, man, what the, cleared his glasses. But he knows what this is indicating. In his head, he's like, you know what? I got to do something about this because this ain't right. Uh-oh, I didn't know Betty could drive. So Betty hops in the whip, nice little outfit on, got the little hat sitting on the back, you know what I'm saying? And she pulls up to some big, extravagant house. Would you look at the size of that house? Man, that house bigger than Philip Banks and Fresh Prince. Turns out this big house is Betty's family. Her dad got some bread and she's over here trying to talk to him like, yeah, so how's everybody doing? How's the boys doing? And the dad's like, why? You haven't kept in touch. Why do you care about this? What's your husband's name? She's like, Clark. He's saying, you must be over here. What, you had to find work or something? Pretty much saying like, man, if you would have just stuck with me, you shouldn't have moved out and did your own thing. You wouldn't be living in, where'd you say you live at? In Compton? Ugh, I'll never go over there. But the dad is pretty much saying, look, why did you leave here to go do what you're doing? Now, the mom, she comes in. She ain't playing the same games as the dad. She coming in talking straight trash. It's like, why are you here? What years can do to a face. You're looking old over there. You must be struggling. But answer your dad. What did you come back for? So the mom ain't putting up with that nonsense. You can tell that her and Betty clash, and that's probably why Betty ran up out the house. But the mom ain't playing that. So Henry, he's seen the tap dance man on the stage. He's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do something about this. As he gets ready to walk over there, Mr. Burke stops him like, hey, I'm surprised you're still here. I thought you'd be enjoying your half day. And Henry playing it professional, like, well, heard Mr. Stokes' toast and everything, I just want to go meet him and say hi to him. And Mr. Burks is telling him, well, we might be in a pickle. I didn't tell him that our engineer was black, so I don't know if you're going to get the same raise that all of us are going to get. And Henry's like, what? This is my project. I'm working on this too. I'm getting me a raise. Henry, hey, at this point, I need that raise. I worked on this. So he goes over to Mr. Stokes and he talks to him. He introduces himself and Mr. Stokes like, oh, what do you do around here? Henry explains to him, I'm an engineer. I got my degree. And then what did he do? He found something that they can relate to. They were both in the military. So he asked him about where did he serve at? And Mr. Stokes was like, I served here. Did you ever take a dump over there? Because that's the only thing that base was worth. And Henry was like, yeah, I was over there. I did that. So they have that connection. Henry came over there, pretty much elevator pitch, laid it on the line, introduced himself, and the boss is laughing. And now Burke is over here on the side trying to take credit. Oh yeah, this is Henry. He just moved into Compton. Nah, Burke, I went straight to the top. That shows you I don't need you. You need me. And the top dog, he knows who I am. When I tell y'all, the mom is not playing, she like, what do you want, Elizabeth? You haven't been here in years. And Elizabeth, she says, well, I haven't asked for anything in 7 years. They're like, yeah, you're the same Elizabeth. Now, what she's trying to convince the parents is, if we sell our house, we might take it as a loss, because she's always over exaggerating, thinking that the property value went down so much because it's a black family across the street. If we sell now at a loss with a small loan from you guys, maybe I can come over here and live in Hancock Park. This house is big as hell. A small loan is gonna have to be like $500,000 to get like a house where where Pops is staying at. And the mom is like, no, because we don't want you visiting at all. So the dad, he's glad his daughter is back. So he tells the maid, go get my checkbook. But the mom is like, don't do it. Don't do it. So the dad just wants his daughter back. He tells her, how about I go run you some bath water so you can wash the travel off you. Now, I'm pretty sure she didn't drive no more than maybe 30 minutes to an hour. He doesn't even write the check. He takes the checkbook and was like, well, you're back now. So pretty much what he's trying to implicate is just stay here. There ain't no point in going back. Just stay here. Her dad really went upstairs. They gave her some fresh towels, took her into her old room, and he went in there and ran her some bath water. This guy loves his daughter and he doesn't want her out there. Not in Compton. Ugh. But Betty ain't trying to hear that. What's that song that went viral? She's a runner. She's a track star. She puts her heels back on and she gets the hell up out of here. Forget that loan. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call George. That's what I'm going to do. Once Henry gets to the house, as soon as he pulls up, Lucky runs up out the house. I got to show you something. I got to show you something. He's like, what? Now? He's already feeling good. I met the CEO. Ooh, maybe I get this raise. Maybe I get this raise. And she's like, no, we need to go see whatever this is right now. And he's like, okay. We can go ahead and come to the conclusion that Betty is a spoiled brat. Now, when she gets home, Clark is already at the house in the bed chilling. You know what I'm saying? Had a hard day at work. He got to pay all the bills in the house. So she lies and says she went to the store. She doesn't want to say she went to her dad's house because Clark is taking care of all the bills. And if she's getting money from her dad, he ain't trying to hear all that. So she lies and talks about, oh, we need to do wallpaper, but it's not like you would notice anything around here. And Clark, what does he do? He turns the light off like, oh, would you look at that? A miracle, electricity, gas, that new car, all this I paid for. So she tries to flip it. Oh, you didn't come to my meeting. And he's like, man, I'm sorry. I apologize. She was like, it was our meeting. I wanted you to be there because you wanted to be there. This is just a spoiled kid. She wants everything her way. She wants everything to be paid for. And Clark, he's just chilling. She asked, is there any money going into the bank account? He's like, hey, yeah, man, what? Lucky takes Henry all the way over to the other house. They pull back up on Mr. Johnson's and Mrs. Johnson's house. And Lucky's like, I want my husband to see what went on in this house. She kicks in the door. She runs into the kitchen because she's looking for all the burnt up stuff, all the kids, all the blood and stuff. And they're like, what are you talking about? Ronald hasn't spoken in years since he came back from the war. He's been all messed up. And now Henry's looking at it like, oh man, she got me in something else. She got us looking crazy over here on the only other black people in Compton. So he has to snatch her up and he has to get her up out the house. But Lucky swears she ain't tripping. She is not tripping. Now, we done went through a lot of things. So they get the kids back to the house. They all get into bed. They read a story until the girls go to sleep. Take the girls into their room. And now the adults need to talk. But the adults, they don't get to talking. As soon as she comes in the room, ain't no talking. We don't need no words. It's time for some love making. But y'all need to watch the episode for that. And there you go. That is episode 4, the recap. All right, there you go. Episode 4, the recap. Let me know what y'all think below. I can't believe that Ruby is running around the school looking like a fool with an imaginary friend. Let me know what y'all think about that. That's episode 4. Stay tuned for episode 5. Thank y'all for kicking with me. If you like the content on our channel, hit the subscribe button. Definitely give me a like. I'm Mo.J. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.